I thrive in the hot kitchen. I love the adrenaline and the chaos behind it. It's like beauty to a certain kind of madness. I have anxiety. So when I step in the kitchen, it kind of hushes the noise. I just knew I wanted to cook because for me, food is such a love language. My name is Chef Sylvia. I was born and raised in Moranga. 27 years old. I'm not shy about my age. I grew up with a family, from a family of two. That was my brother, my late brother, and I. And through cooking, I've actually found a voice, and it has really, really helped me with my anxiety. So I really love cooking. It's my passion. I'm a freelance chef. Being a freelance chef, it means that you're the one who's basically behind everything. You're the marketer, you're the accountant. You might have a team for that, but the basics are you are in charge of you. It's not like you're working behind a hotel or any establishment for that matter. Growing up in Moranga was the best back in the day because I didn't know anything beyond what I was accustomed to. I was raised by a single mom, so you can imagine some of the times I had to cook something for myself during the day, and I think that's where I got interest in cooking and everything in the kitchen because, you know, atakama, you have food in the store, you still want to whip up something that's quick. So today we are having chicken curry with naan. That's an Indian dish. I love it. And also we are going to be having creamy chicken served with cumin rice. So I'm going to be showcasing how to do chicken two different ways. And then we're gonna be having carrot cake. Just a thank you for you guys. Yeah, that's my menu. We are making naan bread. For naan bread, we'll need 2 cups of flour, all-purpose flour. And then we need about a tablespoon of yeast and a healthy pinch of salt and a bit more. So we're going to start this until everything is incorporated. Cooking for me, as I mentioned earlier, I have anxiety. So when I step in the kitchen, it kind of hushes the noise. So I'd say it's my escape when everything else is just chaotic around me. Cooking for me, as I mentioned earlier, I do have anxiety, so it allows me to escape from the noise outside. And cooking was not really for my family, it was for me. It was something that I could say that's mine. So cooking for my brother, he was good in cooking, by the way, because everyone in my family is such a good cook. But I taking it a step further, like, as my career, it's something that has been in me since the beginning. It just needed growing and nurturing to do. So once you're done, you should have a soft dough. Once you press it, it should bounce back with no resistance. So in an old bowl, place your dough, and then we're going to cover this for 1 hour so that it may rise and we can make our naan bread. So as this is rising, we'll be making our creamy chicken. I watched a lot of cooking shows back in the day, and I'd love how the chefs would move in the kitchen. I loved the adrenaline and the chaos behind it. It's like beauty to a certain kind of madness. I think that's where I got the interest from. The adrenaline rush is very addictive. So we'll need like half or quarter teaspoon of salt just to taste, half a teaspoon of cumin ground. We'll need half a teaspoon of or quarter teaspoon of turmeric. Oops. Quarter teaspoon of cardamom, we'll use half a teaspoon of black pepper, one teaspoon of ginger, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, or quarter, depends if you like the taste of cinnamon. And then we'll do a very healthy teaspoon of paprika. And then not to forget oil. We use this is olive oil. Let's use 2 tablespoons. And then we'll be using fresh herbs from the garden. So here we have rosemary. Smells wonderful. My best meal, and it's also my comfort food, is very basic. Mokimo and chicken kienyeji. It's just the best. Like if I'm having a bad day and you just give me that, half my problems are solved. So we're using pishori rice. The main purpose of washing rice is to get rid of excess starch. So basically just wash it until the water is not as white. It's not milky white as it is right now. In primary school, I moved a lot. I think I studied in 3 different primary schools. Some of it was financial, but others I was just stubborn at some point. And then I went to high school. It was in Nyeri, Bishop Gatimo Gandu Girls. And then from there, I did not actually do home science in high school. If anything, I did not like home science in high school. I did music instead. Those are worlds apart. And then after high school, I went to KCA. You'd be shocked, I wanted to be an accountant. So I tried that for about a year. It did not work out for me. Math was not mathing for me. So I told my mom I wanted to take a break. She's very understanding. So she gave me that break, and then she told me to look for what I wanted to do because I just can't be idle. So she was like, find something that you like doing and tell me what it is. So when I told her I want to go to school and learn how to cook, her being the African mom, she was like, for what? For what reason? Is there even money in that? Then she was like, it's okay. If that is your passion, I'm going to help you towards it. So I went to Kenyatta University. I did not graduate. It's safe to say I'm not one for the books. I'm not one with books. So from there, I actually didn't graduate. The year after, I went for internship. This was in 2018, because COVID was in 2019, if my memory serves me correct. So in 2018, I went for an internship in Mombasa, in one of the hotels there called Pride Inn. So I worked there as an intern for about a year. And the reason I stayed there for that long was I was really good in what I do. So they absorbed me. And they usually have these casual employees. So I became one of the constant employees who are always there. And then in the back of my head, I was asking myself, I'm going to school so I can get cash, right? But I'm getting the cash. Do I really, really have to go back to school? So it was not a good decision. But later on, the skills that I gained working as an in-house trainee in Pride Inn, I must say they were a good base for where I am now, because these are not things that they would have taught me in class. But being out there, it helped me in my own way. I took the risk and it has served me so far. Oil. Let your oil heat up. And then we drop in our spices. We're infusing this to our oil. We're using thyme, oregano, and rosemary. So if you waft it towards you, you'll know when to take them out so you don't end up with a bitter sauce. So now we've infused our oil with the herbs. So what we do now, we'll take the chicken that we marinated earlier and carefully, away from us, drop into the pan. So we want a golden brown sear color on the chicken. So be sure not to crowd your pan. So from where you started dropping, so that's the color we're going for, golden brown. So you turn them individually to get an even coating on both sides. So we're just going to sweat the onions. At this point you can add garlic, you can add ginger, but we added the powder when you were marinating. We're going to add salt to taste. I'm going to add paprika, like half a teaspoon. And cinnamon, like quarter teaspoon. We're going to add turmeric, half a teaspoon. We're going to add cumin, half a teaspoon. And the reason why we're adding the spices at this point is because we want to toast them. We want the spices to cook. We don't want to end up with a meal that you can taste the uncooked spices. So when that is done, we're going to add our our cooking cream, because we're doing a creamy chicken, right? Add about half. And then we're going to add half a cup of milk. So we're doing half and half. Half cream, half milk. So I'm going to add milk. So school is very important. Don't get me wrong. School is very important. I had the basics because I was in school. The only thing that you do after internship, you just go back, I think, for a term and then you graduate. So you see, mine was a very short period that was left. It was very wrong of me to be negligent of that. Because you need the papers to actually get employment anywhere, to be very honest. So it was one of the things that pushed me to be a freelance chef. What works best is word of mouth, because that first client you get, trust me, that client might be your make or break, because if you deliver your service in a way that impresses this client, be more than sure that you're going to get recommended to another client, your other client recommends you to another client. It's just a chain, it's like a ripple reaction kind of thing. In the beginning, it was very challenging because I didn't know how to go about it. It was something very strange to me. I just knew I wanted to cook and I wanted to share with people my love for food, because for me, food is such a love language. Like, that is the best way I communicate, like, through my food. So the challenges I faced was like marketing. I had to be really good in my marketing. That's why you have to make your posters. Like I remember my first poster, it was, looking back, it was not all that. Like on a scale of 10, I'd give it a 2. But I was very proud of it. And I remember like my catchphrase was, get a 5-star dish at a 1-star price. And something about freelancing, like you must figure out what your niche is. Do you want to cater to a small group of people so you can manage the outcome of your food more better and presentation? Do you want to do like huge gatherings? Do you want to go corporate? It's something you have to sit down and actually think about. What saved me was research, and also if like they're having, what are they called, these food expos they usually have like in Nairobi, or maybe like they're having like a food festival somewhere, it's very good for you to put yourself out there, because you'll meet people there who have been where you are, and they might give you like some pointers. Something might not work for you. My problem cannot be your problem, but you can get some pointers that are going to help you like overcome whatever challenges you might go or have along the way. Presentation. When you're eating, you eat with your 5 senses. First of all, macho. You eat with your eyes first, right? And then if possible, I love preparing my food when the client is around, because you have the sense of smell, the hearing of the food. It's like everything comes into harmony before I present that dish. My cooking style is, I like to show my clients that you don't have to go to a 5-star restaurant with a 5-star rating to enjoy such kind of food in your own home, because I believe like in the entire world, we just use the same ingredients. We just call them differently. So my style of cooking is taking a gourmet dish and kind of not breaking it down, but making it simpler with more available ingredients in the market or in the supermarket. I get a lot of inspiration from other chefs online, and a lot of cooking shows. I still watch them till day, and cooking competitions, the challenges where you're given like random things in a box, that kind of jogs your mind a lot. So what I can't live without in the kitchen is salt, because you might put everything, $1 million spices in your food, but if that food has no salt, that's 0. So that's salt, black pepper, paprika, and cinnamon. Those are my main 4 ingredients. I'd say what makes me stand out is I'm a really young person who's trying to penetrate this male-dominated market, because in most kitchens, when you go in the entry material is like the hot kitchen now. There's so many dudes, and the female chefs wanatupa kwa bakery or the pastry. So I thrive in the hot kitchen. I don't thrive in I can do pastries and bakery, but I prefer to be in the hot kitchen. So at some point in life, I actually wanted to quit the whole kitchen thing. Because first of all, remember I told you I didn't complete school. So that means I didn't have papers. And I'm here wanting to cook for people. I want people to trust me with their meals. At some point, yes, I did feel, heri hata ningebaki tu accountant, nifanye tu hesabu, be at the back of a desk and just earn my salary at the end of the month. But then again, something major happened, a major shift happened in my life. That's in 2018. I lost my brother. That really broke me. Suffering from anxiety, now I had to deal with depression. having suffered anxiety and now I have to deal with depression, I had to find something that grounded me. So in 2018, remember I told you like I went to Pardine and then COVID happened, yeah? So many people were let off. So that's 2019 carrying into 2020. See, I was like, hey, there's no way I can continue living like this. I need to figure out what to do. So I took to freelancing as a chef. I got my first client through my friend as a referral. So after that, like when I got into the kitchen, it reminded me why I started cooking in the first place, because when I'm there, my only people I'm talking to is the ingredients, and like I have control of the outcome. You can get me on Instagram at Chef Sylvia Rose. My contacts, if you want to book me for any private events, graduation events. I also offer cooking classes with a successful outcome, by the way. My numbers are 0701 374 711. And my social media handles, my most active one is Instagram at Chef Sylvia Rose. Honestly, you'll never know if you don't find out. Like, just take that step and see where it leads you. You'd rather try and fail rather than not trying like at all, so you never know what would have happened. So my ambition is to place female chefs on the map in Kenya and in Africa. They say dream big, so yes. I'd love female chefs to be more appreciated, not just in pastry. Okay, fine, some things in the kitchen like the heavy lifting, that of course you'll need like the masculine energy to do. But in cooking, I don't think any energies are involved. If you have the passion for it, then do it. You're good enough for it. Appreciate your chefs a little bit more, because cooking, for me, it involves the whole of you, you're not just doing it to please your guests or your clients. Cooking for me, because food, nourishes your body and your soul, right? So I think appreciate your chefs a little bit more, better.
You can try out the recipe today and enjoy it with your family and friends. You can interact with us on all our social media platforms on @KTN Home and give us your feedback.